Okay, so I said I wanted to start this video off with the sun. That definitely ain't happening. We have minor issues today, but we have issues nonetheless. And today we have a problem with the fucking focus here. The turbo gasket. So you can see right there. Now, we already blew out this gasket, and I haven't really like full sent this thing. I mean, I haven't really pulled on this thing hard. I've done a couple pulls, but nothing like, you know, insane. So I ordered one, and it's gonna take a little bit to come in, and I complained on Facebook. I was like, this sucks. And so my buddy was like, oh dude, I have one actually for my build. Just when you get yours in the mail, just bring it over and we'll just trade, so you can have it right now and get it done. So that's what I'm gonna do. So shout out to my buddy Mike for hooking me up with the gasket I needed. So I gotta pull apart the turbo right now, and I'm literally just gonna do all this off camera because today is to get the 50 miles on it and do the fluid changes and then go send it. Try to. We'll see what happens. I'm confident, but also nervous at the same time. All right, I don't know where I left off last. I remember replacing the turbo gasket. It's been a couple days. I'm working long hours, but we hit 500 miles. So I drove this thing to and from work, and ended up putting the 500 miles on it. Parked it for the last, I think, 2 days I worked. Just drove the fucking Honda to work, and then yeah, today's now my one and only day off, which is Easter. So happy Easter to you guys if you celebrate it. If not, happy Sunday. How about that? Happy Sunday. I hope it's a good Sunday for you guys. And yeah, so now I got to change the oil, which, by the way, this is the setup I'm running with the sandwich plate I have. I had to get a different let me adjust my exposure. I had to get a different oil filter because the thread changed to like a 1/2 inch instead of a metric. So instead of it being like M12 or M14 or whatever, it's now a standard thread size. And so this is the only oil filter I can find that works. So if you're somebody who bought the Glow Shift, which is what I have, the Glow Shift sandwich plate, that's the part number for you. If you want to write that down, keep that in mind. It's a pretty common oil filter. Most main hubs of like O'Reilly's will have them, not like the little just retail stores, but the main hubs, you know, the big ones like the warehouses. They'll have these ones on hand pretty frequently. And then I'm going to be running some Rotella T6 again for my oil, 5W40. The reason being is extreme oil temperatures. So because I'm not running an oil cooler, and I am going to be drifting this car, and I can only see oil pressure right now. I have an oil temp gauge, but I honestly don't know if my dad has it or not. He ordered it for me but never got it. But anyways, if not, I'll buy one, no biggie. But yeah, that's kind of a big reason. So this oil can run hotter and be okay. Also, diesel oil also has a higher zinc count, which is better for turbo motors, by the way. If you have any questions, like don't go in the comments as being like, yo, explain why, because I'm really bad at explaining why. I Google this stuff, I read what people say, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, and that's it. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. I'm gonna get this jacked up, change the oil in the transmission, and then change the oil in the differential, because I did get the differential welded. A lot of people don't do this, but what you should do after you get it welded is, you know, when you get the welded diff back, clean out any of the slag and any of the remaining metal pieces that are in it. But also, it's not going to be 100% perfect, so put oil in it, put it in the car, run it for you don't have to do 500 miles. I just want to do everything at once, but realistically you got to do maybe 200 miles, let it run through, break off the rest of the slag and any of the other little pieces that are in there, and then change the oil so you can get all that metal out and have fresh oil back in it. So that's kind of like a 101 before I get working on this. So I'm going to get working on this. I gotta go do some family stuff today. I haven't seen my family in a while because of this whole COVID stuff, and I really miss hanging out with my dad. So I'm gonna go do that, and we might go do some stress testing behind the house over here because it's broken in, and I've been really wanting to slide this thing and see what she does, and I need to get back in the game and get back into it. So we'll do some parking lot pimping over there, and we'll have a little bit of fun. Maybe, I don't know yet. We'll see how much time we have in the day. All right, changing the fluids in this thing definitely took way longer than I thought, and I'm kind of upset about it because who the fuck is calling me? Anyways, it took longer than expected because make sure, hold on, I gotta sit here and think real quick, make sure I got everything. Yeah, everything's tight and backed up. We're all good. So it took longer because I guess with these fucking cars, like, dude, where the drain and, or not drain, but where the fill is for all the gear oil, shitty. All right, so that is with a fresh oil change, transmission change, and differential change. There was definitely a lot of metal in the transmission and the differential, which is fine. These drain plugs have magnets on them, so that's what keeps them from grenading. But now we got our T6 oil back in. We're ready to rip on her. Not quite. I'm gonna let her warm up. I was gonna set the camera and everything, but I'm not going to because I'm actually running late. So I'm just gonna go to my dad's, do what I gotta do today, and then come back and fuck around in the car. So when you guys, the next clip is it's gonna be dark, but let's go fucking stress test 240 now. All right, so I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we're gonna do a couple donuts just to test it, just to feel it out, see if anything breaks. When I was driving it today, I was driving it really hard, and I honestly wanted to, like, there were so many corners I wanted to hit, but I don't want to, like, accidentally break something without it being close to the house, because then I can at least push it to the house. It's right there. This lot, perfect. A couple donuts here and there, see how she acts, see how she reacts, see how it is, see what I need to do, and really stress test the car. So I'm just gonna whip it around for a little bit, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it all goes really well. So we probably have a MAV connection that's kind of loose. It keeps it, so it was ripping. You guys saw it. I hope it looks sick. I'm excited to look back at the footage just for the little bit that I saw. But
Something's loose, something's going on because the car can't idle correctly now. So I will get home, figure it out, see what happened, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, so I made an ending clip after we did a little stress test. Obviously, what I did catch on camera was that the car died and then had a hard time starting up, and then it was having idling issues. So that was weird. The other thing is when I came back to the house to do my little outro, I was letting it, cool down and everything. After I stopped recording, I was hearing some ticking noise, and it was kind of weird. I first thought was rod knock, and I was like, no fucking way. Second guess between Reed and I and Chuck, when I asked him about it, and multiple other people, was the timing chain. It did sound like a timing slap or like a lifter tick, but it wasn't. Just the other night, I started her back up again, and I was taking more of a closer look or listen, and the sound was coming from the turbo. Now I pulled that off, and I pulled the exhaust side off to take a look at it. There is a little bit of shaft play right now going back and forth, which isn't good. That's definitely not good. So maybe we blew the turbo. I don't know. That's going to be the next video. Now I got to pull the turbo back off again. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. So after a little science experiment, there's two issues that came arise. Luckily, nothing else. And I purposely banged it as hard as I could just to see what the hell would happen. Thankfully, nothing catastrophic happened. However, the ticking noise, if it was a problem before I did some donuts in it, then might have done damage to the turbo that way, or something happened in the turbo during that time and it just got too stressed out and something happened. I don't know. The idling issue, I think, will be fixed with the tune. I think it's MAV related. I think the connection's loose. It is kind of you guys see it. It's totally not a proper intake setup, but it works, at least to drive it. So I think after I get the tune and moving my mass airflow over here somewhere on the cold side of the intercooler piping, that might actually, and have it tuned for it, might actually change how it runs. I don't know. A lot of this is still pretty new to me. And the other thing is the turbo. So I'm gonna figure that out this weekend on my day off. So you guys will see this video, and then the next video was supposed to be some more driving, some glass. I was replacing the windshield. I'm gonna have to postpone that. I gotta call and let them know that I won't be able to drive this there. But the next video after that will be me tearing apart the motor, or not the motor again, the turbo, and seeing what's going on inside. So another weekend, my only day off, where I'm going to be spending time working on this car, which I'm honestly kind of tired of it, but we came this far, might as well just keep going. So with that, I'll see you guys all in that video. I'm gonna have a smile on my face, and see you guys all in future videos too. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Facebook at Living the Drift Life. Totally separate from my Tuner Zen stuff, but we post a lot of other around the world drifting stuff. And this sucks. There's a car right behind the house that I need to I gotta show you guys. It's complete shit right now, but like it's gonna be a big deal. At least I want it to be a big deal. I want to do something really cool with it. But I got another car that this arm was getting tired, but I got another car that I want to build, do something with, make it another drift car, but with a twist. We're gonna do something else with it, but I want you guys to kind of help out figuring stuff out, kind of like, make little options each video on it, like, anyways, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but just know that there's something over there. So make sure you guys subscribe for that, because that's gonna be sick. I can't wait for that project. Once this fucking stupid thing is
I love this car, actually. I can't talk shit about it, but yeah, once this thing's actually working properly. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys all later, and y'all have a great rest of the week or day or whatever. Okay, bye.